Hello everyone! Welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel. This is me, Annie, and I will be drawing for you today. Grab your tea, coffee and snacks and let's dive into today's video. Today I'm working on something special for my friend. Actually, she's my best friend and she's so close to me. We're basically like sisters because we have so much in common. And we play role-play games together, and she also helps me to develop my own fantasy setting. But sometimes from time to time we play other role-play games to kind of find an inspiration or ideas for mechanics, or just to switch activity for a while, just to have a break, because sometimes we need breaks. So today I'm going to draw her play character from Shadowrun system, and her name is Yu. Meet Yu. Oh, Yu is a wonderful character, just as her owner, because the way that my friend played her is just such a chef kiss, because she has a great charisma and she is very lovely person. So all her characters in role-play games, they also have like part of her charisma. You inevitably fall in love with her characters because they're just so sweet. And also she is very interesting in terms of how she is making decisions and the way she's trying to find a solution, trying to talk out of the trouble, because in Shadowrun you're in trouble like most of the time, like 90% of the time something bad is happening, or you're just crossing someone else's street that you better not do it. And she's like perfect solution for these types of situations. Not only that, she also is a great sniper. Like, she has a background, I believe, of a Russian family. Her father was a military soldier, so she has his sniper rifle and he taught her how to shoot, so she also has the skills in the party. The way she is talking to people and easily finding connections made her like a good contrabandist circle. Like, she has a lot of contacts in that field, which was also very useful for the party, for our runners. We have a lot of stuff that we're not supposed to have apparently by the game rules, so everybody would try and either snatch it from us, or if we get caught by local police or something like that, we could get ourselves into trouble. So she is the one that would solve both of these problems. So she can transport whatever needs to be transported, wherever it needs to be transported, and secretly, so little people know where stuff is going. So yeah, she's a very good team member. I got into her story before actually telling what I was about to do in art part, so let me roll back a little bit and tell you what is my plan for this one. So I sketched her out in my small format mixed medium sketchbook. So I'm going to use my acrylic paint pens to color the zoom in on her smile, and then also cover the background part around her portrait on the right. And I'm thinking to use some line art, so maybe I'll just keep the right part sketched and a little bit lined out with very thin fine liner and kind of keep it this way. So half of the artwork is going to be fully colored to give a glimpse of the colors of her skin and hair, and the rest is just going to be like this sketchy style of a sketchy character, because we're all Shadowrunners and we're all sketchy, and all runners are sketchy because we're criminals. I like to make this spread look like an introduction of a character from an action movie, because I've seen a few movies before and sometimes they're introducing characters in these very bright and contrast backgrounds, exactly the way that I drew it, and I think it looked really cool. So I kind of want to represent the same style of an introducing character with these techniques, let's say. And I chose green color for the background because Yu is just a massive green flag of a character. Like, she's a very wonderful person, so I decided this color would fit her. And it's also a very nice contrasting color to her hair color because she is ginger, and I thought it would look very nice and would stand out a lot if I make the darker green background. And as always, I am going to prime the page prior to landing the base color. So I'm just using the background color for the priming because I'm not gonna put more layers into background anyway. But for the face part, I'm going to prime it with white colored pen and then land some lighter skin colors, maybe something yellowish and then pinkish, and then like see how I can work up and build up the layers later on. And after I'm more or less satisfied with the colors, I'm going to land the line art with my brush pens and give it a finishing touches. Or at least that's the plan for now. I'll see later on if I need to do any adjustments to this plan. So, how you got into a party? So, the owner of the character, she was a little late for the first sessions, and actually we were already in the middle of a mission, and then she decided to join and play because she didn't know about our sessions. So she's like, "Oh, I want to play too. Let me in. Let me in." Kind of thing. And so our GM at that time, also my very good friend, he found a nicer the most genius way to join her into the party. So basically we were trying to dive into one of the routes of contrabandists, but we didn't really know where we're going, and it was like a leap from the bridge. I think there was some sort of pipe that we wanted to go in, and like there was a secret route or something. I can't remember like these details clearly, but there was something about leaping off the bridge, and I was playing a character that was very good with climbing. So he was in the middle of climbing that wall down, and I think he was there successfully, like he arrived into the entrance successfully, but other team members, they were like struggling and trying to think of a way how to climb there without the risk of falling. So now that's the part where you comes in. So basically one of our team members that was like a small girl or boy creature, we still don't know because it was always wearing a mask, and his name was Bogu. So Bogu was standing there on the bridge looking down and kind of thinking of what to do next, and there goes you riding her motorcycle, and then she saw like a kid standing on a bridge, and she thought the worst, like, oh no, please don't jump, she's trying to help him out, like preventing his unaliving himself because that's what she thought, because I mean every other normal person would probably think the same, and she's like, yeah, I need to help this poor soul, and she's approaching slowly like, what are you doing here, asking questions and being all kind and smiley. And then she realized that she's not alone there, and there were more people down there, and she's like, oh, you need help climbing down? And she's like, yeah, I have a rope here, I could help you out since I'm here, like, why not? And she tied the rope and tried to climb down with Bogu. Bogu used the rope, and since he was like light and small, I think it was okay for him, and he climbed down. But when she tried to do it, I think the rope broke or something like that. She tied it to the car using shibari knot. It wasn't supposed to be used this way. Basically, she fell down. I think my character jumped into the water to save her, and when he took her out of water, that's how they like introduced to each other, like, oh hey, hello there, It was such a anecdote how she got into the team. And then like, well, since she's there, why not go there together, since she just basically got almost drowned and she got saved, so obviously she would trust this person who saved her, because yeah, who wouldn't, tell me. So yeah, they proceeded together to complete the mission and everything, but like, yeah, that's how they were introduced to each other. And this character that I was playing at that time, it was An, and you remember it from one of my previous videos on my channel. I have drawn him before. And this is this type of person who is very altruistic and has eyes of a cat. So imagine being saved by a very hot guy with very kind look in his eyes, very concerned, and not falling in love with him. So I mean, at least she felt some sympathy, but in the heat of moment, I believe she felt like a little tingle, you know, because she's this type of person too. Her character is very sexy and like very cheerful and playful in this type. So her charisma is cute and charming. So yeah, it's very hard to resist it. And that all happened actually before Anne got into a relationship. So they could very well end up together, but our story went another route. So we will never know if they would end up together or not. And also, Yu has this magical ability to become friends with all of my characters. So firstly, she arrived in the party when my second character Anne was, and then after a while, like a few years later, let's say, she ended up in a party with my very first character Mai, and they became like besties. Like they were so efficient and so cool together, like this dangerous couple of friends that could overcome anything and that would eventually become legends of the city, known for their efficient and cool work and like heroic deeds, something like that. At least that's how I see it, what they would become if we were playing like for a long time. Like they're both driving motorbikes and they shop together and they work together as a team. And since Yu is a sniper, she's like covering backup for Mai, because Mai is using a warhammer, so she needs to be in front, and in case something happened to her, Yu could cover her back. And that's actually exactly what happened several times, because we were caught up in battle scenes, and I think Mai survived because of Yu's backup. So yeah, I think these two ladies would have a nice dynamic together, to be honest. Both Mai and Yu are very good at charismatic deeds, so they would infiltrate somewhere or like play around like silly girls. And that's exactly what we did a couple of times, and it actually played out really well. Like one time they seduced some security to get into a hotel so they could complete their mission in like stealth and not alarm anybody. Or another time when they were fighting back a giant spider robot, and Yu was trying to lead a crowd of elves that were helping out Mai, because Mai was there alone trying to fight it, and elves were like a little bit running around in panic, and she really tried to step in and help out with her leadership skills. Even though it wasn't like super successful, the attempt was very good, to be honest. Like it was very epic in my point of view as a player that was witnessing the story, and it was super epic. So yeah, behind her cute face and a charming smile is actually standing a very tall, strong woman with a large sniper rifle that is very badass in fighting too. Not only she is beautiful, she is also very capable of standing up for herself and some others. Anyway, here is the final result for the drawing. I hope you like it, because I really like how it turned out. I'm really proud of this sketchbook spread. The idea of hatching the background on the right side of the spread came to me just randomly, and I decided I would go full in to this idea, and I think it filled the page really nicely with little details. And I really like how her smile turned out to be like this little charming and playful smirk that shows up her teeth just a little bit to charm the person that she's talking to. I think that turned out to be very nice. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. I hope you liked the drawing, so let me know in the comments what you think and what you think of Yu and her adventures with our Shadowrunners. And if you like my work, please consider subscribing to this channel and my other social media. I will be very, very, very grateful for your support. Also, don't forget to wash your cup, and I hopefully will see you in the next one. Bye bye!